Yesterday, I gathered 6 wise women together. Now, I was one of the wise women, and what we discussed was, how do women create our future? Now, why did I do that? It's what I call a magical conversation circle because it has very specific rules. It's not about the past, it's about the future. And I believe unless we know what women would like to create for the future, we women can't possibly work out how to get from here to there. Now, this is not just about women, so I will be doing a circle with men and asking men how they would desire to create their future. And then we will bring the two perspectives together and see where the connections are, where the similarities are, where the differences are. Now, this is also about business because it's not just pie in the sky. What I ask these women, all professionals, all entrepreneurs, all professional in professional careers, in an ideal scenario, what would you desire the future to be? How would it embrace everybody? The working woman, the woman at home with her family, the older, the younger, the different diverse groups that we know around the world. But what would be the essence of the lifestyle and business growth that we would want to see as women? And it was fascinating. There was no conditions, one could share anything. And the 6 of us came out with 6 strands, which as they come together, will form a plan for the future. And when we see what the men want to gather together, maybe another 6 strands, we'll see where the overlap and the linkage is. But I want to give you an insight into what these women were thinking. Now, of course, these women don't necessarily represent every woman in the world, so we will grow this conversation over the next few weeks and months. And I'll be very interested also to do it online with any women and men who would like to be part of the future. So in order to describe a future which we have not yet come to, but that has all the positives in it, it's not about the past, remember, it's about the future. So as we then gear down that future, we can look at the present and work towards it. Because what we often do is we keep on measuring today by yesterday, and we come against all sorts of problems. The 6 strands that came up, to my mind, were fascinating. So listen carefully and decide for yourself how these would blend to an expansive, sustainable society and economic world. The first one was about creativity and having a freedom to expand our creativity as women and as men all around our natural gifts. Not what we learned at school, not what we've got on a piece of paper, not on our skills credentials, but what was naturally the energy that we have. Are we designers? Are we orchestrators? Are we managers? Are we craftspeople? Are we good at being pioneers and running the shop, being entertainers, being the quiet researcher? All those things come from us naturally. So that was the first strand, to have a freedom mindset for creativity. The second was connecting to nature. And that might sound strange to men who are used to a concrete world, but it was about the concrete and the digital world. And it was not going without those, but actually balancing that in with nature, literally, space, energy, trees, gardens, spaces to be, ways to be breathing clearly, having the sunshine coming in our buildings and in our workplace, making them appealing to people's need for energy and connectivity. The third strand was peaceful coexistence, and this expanded to our whole community, our community at work and at home, and especially our education of future generations. As women, we feel that that is really the most important part of instilling some peaceful coexistence our degree of communication, especially between boys and girls, men and women, and all diversities, generation, culture, ethnicity, sexual orientation, abilities, all of that. So that was the third strand. The fourth strand was a moral code, love and respect for everybody, and making that part of everyday life. And you can see how that would come into education as well. Now, the fourth one was interesting. It came under the heading of fierce compassion. And actually, this was more than just compassion. This was about community engagement and how, in terms of our consumer as well, the consumer is mainly female. The consumer wants to be part of the tribe, to be treated fairly. So it's about community engagement, not fierce competitiveness, but fierce compassion. And the last one of the six was harmony and energy, our ability to actually enjoy life, to have a meaningful existence, to hear the music, to have fun and enjoyment as part of business as well as home. And why not? We know there's some really good examples of businesses. My favorite, which is Richard Branson and the Virgin Companies, and also Sarah Blakely at Spanx that I've been following. And Stephen Senekin, he approves of this as well. The infinite game of joy at work. So love, compassion, respect, peaceful coexistence, creativity, expansion of mind, soul, and body. I think this creates a very, very amazing foundation, and I will be reporting back on this, a full report on what we discovered. And as we go forward with other women joining us, we'll find out whether we all concur. And then I will start men's groups, and we will find out what strands you want in your desired future. If you want to be part of this, just contact me, get in touch, come on my calendar, have a 30-minute conversation with me, or email me. It's time that we got this merger together and make it work for everybody. For now, thank you for watching, and I will see you soon.